Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Yesterday I dropped a video. Today I'm dropping a video. Tomorrow I plan on dropping another video. I'm just gonna keep this thing going. Learning how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Learning how to get on this camera and just be my authentic self and share my personal experience with you guys. Today I just want to talk about addictions. Addictions, let me preface by saying there's so many forms of addictions out there. Addictions to porn, addictions to alcohol, addictions to drugs, addictions to doom scrolling, you name it. There's so many different forms of addictions out there, and I struggle with different forms of addictions, and I want to share my personal experience on addictions. Addictions is something that can drain you. I don't care what it is. I mean, I can say there's positive addictions out there that, and I can leave that for another video, but I'm talking about the negative addictions out here, the negative side of addictions, and the negative forms of addictions. And honestly, it's not easy. It's not easy. First of all, it's not easy to quit once you're addicted to something. It takes a lot for you to not only just quit, but come to the realization, like, I have a problem. Some people can't get to that part, that first part. I have a problem. You got to admit to yourself, I have a problem. Some people are just so caught up in their addictions that they don't even sometimes even see that they have a problem. And that's one of the things that I've always had this, I wouldn't say this voice in my head, but this part of me that always guided me to making good decisions. And I knew when, for example, just alcohol, there was points in my life where I was just drinking every day. Every day I had to have, and it was different forms of alcohol. It was hard liquor, it was wine, you name it. I mean, I was on it, and I had to have it every day. I felt like I needed it in order to feel normal. And that's another thing. It's like, at the beginning, for example, alcohol, you drink, you feel good, and you just like, man, I want to feel like this again, and then after a while, it's not even about you feeling that way. It's about you trying to feel normal. You get to a point where it's like, I just want to feel normal. So you depend on something like alcohol to get you through the day. And that was my problem. I was just like, man, I was drinking every day, and I noticed that my energy levels was just like depleted. I had no energy, and I would wake up, I want to go running, and I had to work extra hard just to even get out the door and have the energy to even run. And it's like, that's not it. I knew, just by just putting health first, and because I made a promise to myself that, I want to be more healthy, I want to be more active, I want to run, I want to be able to, do certain workouts and run certain long distances, and I noticed that my energy was just shot. So I had to stop. And really, like, focus on my health, because things that don't serve you only gonna drain you. It's only gonna drain you. It's only gonna deter you from being your best self. And I want to be my best self. I want to shine bright, and just like so many people out there that are shining bright, and we all are capable of shining bright, and we all shine bright. Let me just preface by saying that we all shine bright. There's no one or the other, but I want to personally shine. I want to be my best version, and just being in a world of just every day relying on something to get you through the day. It's just takes so much energy, not just from your body, but from your mind and your brain. And it's just like, I had to stop, I had to stop, and I had to reset, and for other forms of addictions, it's harder. Alcohol is one thing, but when you're dealing with drugs or pills or any other sorts of stuff like that, the withdrawals from those type of drugs can be just like horrific, and it's not easy. But there's hope. There's hope. There's that light at the end of the tunnel, but you got to stick with it. You gotta sometimes, like, for example, when I started the video, comfortable in the uncomfortable. You got to get comfortable in the uncomfortable to beat addiction. It's gonna be uncomfortable. It's gonna feel like hell. It's gonna feel like the whole world is on your shoulder. It's gonna feel like everything around you is just like, it's just a mess, but you got to stick through it. You gotta one step at a time. You gotta take your time, and you gotta just find a way of just maneuvering through it, and staying grounded. I feel like I had to hit the reset button not too long ago, and I've had issues with addictions, for a big portion of my life. So from experience, I know how hard it is. I know how difficult it is, and I know what it takes to overcome it. So I was able to dip out of it before it took control of me. And it's just one step at a time, and you have to take inventory of what's going on in your life, what matters to you. What are the things that matters to you in your life? It's your family, is it your health, and you got to take those things into consideration and use that as ammo when you're trying to stop these from doing these certain things that become addictions, and you're not the only one. I'm not the only one. And that's why I love this YouTube community that's full of people that have so many personal experience, and people can share their stories and share their personal experience and help others from making some of the mistakes they made, and if I can come on here and share my personal experience and help somebody, not make the same mistakes I did, I'm winning. It's all about coming on here and being of service and helping others. I just wanted to come on here and share my experience and hopefully help others that are maybe dealing with some form of addictions, and just let them know that, man, you're not alone, and you can definitely get through this. So until then, thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to y'all soon.